안녕하세요. 라이팅. 어쩌지? 잠시만요. 불 켜는 게 나으려나? 이게 나을 것 같기도 해요. 하이. 안녕. 잘 들려요? Can you hear me? Can you see and hear me? 저 보이나요? 잘 보이고 잘 들리죠? Welcome to Lily's Lost the Plot. 여러분 환영해요. 리리리야 릴리딩. 오늘 위대한 쇼맨에 대해서 얘기하려고 합니다. We're going to be talking about the greatest showman today. Hello. We're going to talk about the greatest showman today. Okay. 그래서 여러분 여러분 영화 보셨나요? Did you see the movie? Let me know. 영화 보셨나요? Have you seen the movie? Let me know. Lily, do you know anything about Venus retrograde? No, I don't. 봤어. No, I didn't. Do you like answer? Of course I do. Yes. Sing for us. 봤어. Yes, of course. Sing for us. No, what is the movie? It's The Greatest Showman. It's what we're talking about today. Anyway. Yes, Hugh Jackman can sing. He certainly can sing. 오케이. 보신 분들도 있고 안 보신 분들도 있네요. 어쨌든 뭐 매번 그랬으니 사람들이 계속 노래를 불러달라네요. 그럼 시작부터 그냥 노래를 불러볼까요? Everyone keeps asking me to sing. Should I just like start singing to just start us off? There's a song that I really wanted to sing. Okay, so A Million Dreams. Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. Think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build, every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. See, I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. We may be right, we may be wrong, but I wanna bring you along to the world I see, to the world we close our eyes to see. We close our eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make. 핑크 버전으로 불렀어요. 핑크 버전이 좀 더 제 키에 맞아서. I sang the pink version because I think it's more suited to my tone. But anyway, 잘 들으셨어요? Did you hear it? Did you like it? Lily, I always thought that I would not be able to reach high notes and my voice was low. Do you think it's possible? Why, you don't have to reach high notes to be a good singer. Singing, range is important in singing, of course, but singing is not all about high notes, you know? And everyone was born with a different voice, so sometimes people's registers are just lower and that's okay. What could be high to someone could be easy for someone else, and what could be low for someone could be really high for someone. Like, you know what I mean? 어떤 분이 저는 목소리가 엄청 낮은데 고음을 언젠가 할 수 있을까요? 라고 하셨는데 제가 봤을 때는요, 누가 고음을 해서 노래를 잘 부르는 게 아니라고 생각해요. 물론 고음을 잘하면 멋있기도 하고 그런 것도 있지만 다 고음이 중요하다고 생각하지 않아요. 레인지가 물론 중요하지만 어쨌든 모든 사람들이 다 다른 레지스터로 태어났으니까 조금 더 낮은 목소리가 있을 수도 있고, 근데 그렇다고 나한테는 이게 고음인데 이 사람한테는 쉬워. 그런 게 당연한 거예요. 그래서 그냥 자기의 레인지 안에서 열심히 잘하면 노래 잘 부를 수 있다고 생각해요. Anyway, let's go right into The Greatest Showman. 바로 얘기를 해볼까요? The Greatest Showman 다들 잘 보셨나요? Okay, found it. 잘 보셨나요? Okay. 어쨌든 별점 알려주세요. How many stars did you give it? 몇 점을? How many stars out of 5 did you do it? did you give it? 별점 몇 점에 5점 만점에 몇 점 줬어요? 일단 여러분들 거 듣고 한번 제 것도 말해요. 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4.5, 4, 5. 오, 되게 다들 다 엄청나게 높네요. 이렇게 다들 다 높게 나온 거 처음인 것 같은데? 5가 엄청 많네. 5, 4.7. Specific, but we love to see it. 5, 10. 10? I said out of 5, but it's okay. 5, 3.75, 4.4, 5, 5, 10, 5. It's too good to just be 5. Okay. 5, 5 for music. 5 infinity, 1. Okay. 10, 5, 5, 2, 5. 4.5, 4.4, 10, 5, 1, 5. 오케이. 그래도 2, 4, 5, 5. 이때는 그래도 대부분은 다들 꽤 높게 주는 것 같아요. 여태까지 본 것 중에서는 4랑 5가 제일 많은 것 같아요. I think out of all the ones we've done before, I'm seeing a lot of 5s and 4s, so I can tell you guys love this a lot. So let's get into the slander. No, I'm just kidding. I liked it too. I gave it a 4. 4 stars. 저는 4점을 줬어요. 4점. 일단은 엄청나게 재밌게 본 거죠. 4점이면. 왜 1점을 깎았는지 이제 살펴보는 거죠. Why did I take off a star? We'll see. We'll see. I'll let you know and we'll see. I mean, if it's a 4, you know, it means that I really enjoyed it. So it means that I think it's a good movie. So it's still a very, very high rating for me. Okay. 그러면 이제 본격적으로 얘기를 시작해보려고. Okay. Anyway, let's start. First of all, the intro was amazing. 인트로가 엄청났어요. 너무 좋아. 저는 뮤지컬 영화를 너무 사랑해요. 그래서 이런 막 엄청 막 프로덕션이 많고 막 그런 거 너무 좋아해요. 막 목소리 많이 들어가고 안무도 다 막 있고 막 전 그런 거 정말 좋아해요. 그래서 역시나 저는 항상 뮤지컬 볼 때 그런 막 엄청 화려한 거 그런 걸 되게 좋아해요. 그런 맛으로 보는 게 아닌가 싶어요. 화음들이 막 쌓여있고 막 여러 명이서 한 노래를 부르는 막 파트 나누고 막 애들도 많고 막 그래서 전 그 파트가 너무 좋았어요. 너무 멋있었어. 막. 처음에 인트로 와우 와우 like how could you not? Like it's iconic. It's iconic, okay? Like it's gonna make anyone's heart flutter, you know? So that intro was amazing. I loved it. For me, I just love musicals and I love musical movies. And I think one of the best parts about musical movies, and usually it's always my favorite song of the soundtrack. It's usually the ones with the production value, the choreo, the amazing, the arrangements, the harmonies, the choirs. Those type of things are my favorite, you know? So those are my favorites. 진짜 저기 부분들이 너무 설레요. It really gets your heart racing. So the intro was amazing. And then obviously Zendaya, we love her. And I loved her pink hair. It was so cute. 그리고 젠데야도 나왔는데 저는 젠데야를 정말 사랑하기 때문에 너무 좋았어요. 그리고 머리가 핑크 색깔이었어. 나처럼. 그래서 그것도 너무 좋았어요. And so then 그러면 시작이 약간 서커스라고 해야 되나? 어쨌든 그 벌써 서커스가 다 만들어진 상태에서 시작하다가 이제 다시 버넘의 어린 시절로 다시 돌아가죠. It starts with the circus already in full swing, you know? Which I love that they did that because it gives like a little hint to the magic that it's about to come, because it takes quite a while for the magic to actually start, you know? So then we go back in time to Barnum. Whoops, my bad. Barnum. PC Barnum's childhood. 진짜 그 부분. 너무 슬펐어요. 그렇지 않아요? 어쨌든 이게 저는 약간 그런 장면 보는 걸 되게 잘 못 견뎌요. 너무 슬퍼. 일단은 아빠랑 같이 일하다가 아빠가 돌아가셔서 이제 아무도 없는 거죠. 애긴데 어떡해. 돈도 없고 막 아무도 없어서 막 어쩔 수 없이 막 훔치고 그러잖아요. 근데 그런 장면이 있어요. 훔치고 나서 그게 걸려서 어떤 아주머분이 막 그 빵을 막 다시 자기 거를 다시 주는 거예요. 그때 너무 슬펐어. 그때가 진짜 울고 싶었어. 진짜 아직 시작한 지 Someone says clean the lens. 어쨌든 시작한 지 얼마 안 됐지만 벌써부터 울고 싶었어요. 저 원래 약간 그런 거에 되게 울컥 잘해요. 막 그런 거 서로 뭔가가 없는데도 서로 어떻게든 도와주려고 하는 그런 뭔가 인생에 대한 희망을 주는 그런 장면들? 그런 거 보면 자주 울컥하거든요. 그래서 어쨌든 네 그렇고 anyway, so then it's really sad. It's the first scene is really sad. Like he's working with his dad, and then wait, what? His dad. Wait, what? No. He's working with his dad, and then his dad passes away, and then he has to live by himself and fend for himself, and he has like nothing. Man, that was so sad. That was such a sad scene. And then there was this scene where he was like stealing some bread, and then he got caught, and then he had nothing, and then there was this like lady who gave him more food, even though she didn't have a lot herself. Like, those scenes always make me tear up, you know, because it gives me hope about humanity, you know. I always get teary-eyed whenever I look at Hope About Humanity. 저는 사실 이 영화를 처음으로 봤을 때가 영화관에서 봤었어요. 처음 나왔을 때 가족이랑 같이 봤었는데 그때 정말 좋아했었어요. 그때 그런 기억이 있어요. 그리고 두 번째로 다시 릴리리아 릴리딩 준비하느라 봤었어요. So this is actually my second time watching it. I've watched it 2 times. The first time that I watched it in the theater, like right when it came out, with my family, like the whole fam. So, and I remember it being a super good movie. I was like really obsessed with it. So, anyway, 어쨌든 그렇고요. And 막 또 사랑에 빠지게 돼요. 그 약간 부잣집 딸과 사랑에 빠지게 돼요. 엄청 흔한 이야기죠. 솔직히 말하면. 하지만 뭐 흔한 이유가 있겠죠. 사람들이 많이 좋아하기 때문에 계속 그런 걸 만드는 거겠죠. 어쨌든 그 파트도 좋았어요. 귀여웠어요. 다들 귀여웠어요. 그리고 그 노래, 방금 내가 부른 노래가 나왔었죠. 근데 그 노래 좋은 것 같아요. 예, 좋은 것 같아요. 희망적이에요. 진짜 조금 느끼하지만 근데 가사가 정말 희망적인 것 같고 네, 좋은 것 같아요. And then like he falls in love with the girl, the rich man's daughter falls in love with the pauper's boy, you know. Very cliche, but at the same time, you know, there's a reason it's a cliche, you know. There's a reason things are cliche in this world, so I think it's because people like it, so, and I like those type of things. But anyway, so that was all cute, and then like they fell in love. It was really cute, and then they sang A Million Dreams, and that was good. I did like that. It's a good song. It's a little cheesy, but the lyrics are like very hopeful, you know. I like it. Yeah. And 그게 너무 귀여웠어요. 막 서로 멀리 떨어져 있는데 막 계속 막 연락하고 어떻게든 연락하려고 하는 모습이 너무 찐사랑 같았어요. 그 찐사랑이 진짜 과연 찐사랑일까? 나중에 보게 되겠죠? 하지만 어쨌든 네, 그 순간에는 찐사랑 같았어요. So, and then like they kept correspondence throughout the whole time when they were apart, and I thought that was really cute and romantic, and like It seemed like it was real love. But was it though? We will see. Anyway. And then, fast forward a little bit, then he decides, he gets laid off from his job and he decides that he wants to do something with his life. Create a museum, basically to make money. 그 다음에 일자리에서 잘리게 되고, 그 다음에 나는 이제 어떻게든 돈을 벌겠다라는 생각으로 뮤지엄이 한국어로 뭐지? 죄송해요. 잠시만요. 아는데. 분명히 아는데. 아 맞다. 박물관. 네, 박물관. 아 감사합니다. 박물관을 만들려고 합니다. 그래서 그렇게 했고 약간 특이한 것들을 찾기 위해 돌아다녔었어요. 그래서 네, 그런 장면들도 좀 감동적이었어요. 왜냐면 이거 그때 당시에는 더 그랬으니까 이렇게 뭔가 조금 다르신 분들이 엄청 차별을 많이 받고 일자리도 못 찾고, 근데 PC 반음 덕분에 이렇게 막 사랑을 많이 받을 수 있는 그런 자리가 될 수 있다고 생각을 해서 네, 그래서 어쨌든 그런 장면들도 좀 감동적이었어요. So then he goes around, he gets laid off to his job and then he decides to make a museum, and then he goes around to recruit people that are shunned from society, people that are kind of like a little bit different than to what society deems okay. And then he kind of gives them a job, and that part was actually quite heartwarming because, you know, these people who are constantly told they're not worth anything in this world, get someone who tells them, you know, you can make money, you're gonna make money off of that. Like, I think that's quite beautiful. We're gonna talk more about what I feel about that later, but anyway, so that happens, and then and then the circus takes off and does really well, and then we get a couple of like great songs, which I was loving that. Yeah. 그 다음에 서커스가 완전 막 잘 돼요. 완전. 그 다음에 서커스가 완전 막 잘 돼요. 그래서 막 너무너무 좋았어요. 그리고 약간 뭐라 하지? 서커스가 막 잘 돼서 막 좋은 노래들 많이 들을 수 있어서 좋았어요. 네. 그 다음에 we get Zac Efron. Then we get Zac Efron. I don't know if I said this before, but Zac Efron used to be my childhood crush because I was a High School Musical girly, you know, growing up. So I will always have a sweet spot for Zac Efron. And once again, he slayed the game. We love him, okay? But anyway, so Zac Efron comes into the picture, gives us a cool number with the men. That was cool, yeah. 그 다음에 Zac Efron 님이 나와요. 근데 제가 사실 어렸을 때 하이스쿨 뮤지컬을 되게 좋아했었어요. 그래서 Zac Efron을 되게 좋아하거든요. 그래서 네, 그래서 되게 항상 반가워요. 어렸을 때 엄청나게 좋아했었거든요. 그래서 항상 어디 가든 반가워요. 그래서 네, 그렇고요. And then for some reason they go and visit Queen Victoria, which is like good for them. And then like 그 다음에 막 Queen Victoria도 만나고, 그것도 되게 신기했어. 재밌었고. 그 다음에 근데 욕심쟁이인 반엄이 갑자기 뭔가를 더 원해. 거기에서 정신을 못 차렸어. 더 원해. 아니 지금도 벌써 다 가졌는데 더 원해. 이게 문제야. 이게 인간의 문제야. 욕심. They can never be satisfied. Anyway, 어쨌든 더 원해. 그래서 갑자기 막 그 좀 돈이 많으신 분들에게도 막 인정받고 싶다고 갑자기 막 어떤 오페라, 사실상은 팝이지만 오페라 가수를 막 불러서 엄청나게 노래를 잘 불러요. 근데 어쨌든 네, 오페라 가수를 불러서 이렇게 해서 막 투어를 가게 돼요. 하지만 전 진짜 와 그때 진짜 정이 확 떨어졌어요. PC 반음에게 정이 확 떨어졌어요. 진짜 어이가 없어. 지금 이렇게 재능이 넘치는 이런 친구들이 있고 너의 그 PC 반음님의 시작을 함께 해준 그분들 덕분에 잘 된 건데 아직도 욕심을 잃지 못해. 그래요. 저는 이해할 수 있어요. 어렸을 때부터 돈 많은 사람들 보고 많이 부러워했을 테니 왜냐면 그런 주위에 많이 했으니까. 하지만 그래도 되게 어이없었어요. 네. Anyway, so then Barnum, the greedy Gus, I swear, people's greed is never ending. He has it all. He has money, friends, his family's in a good place, successful, talented people that he can work with. And yet, he still wants more. This is the problem with the world. They keep wanting more. They keep wanting more. The greed. Anyway, so when he started like reaching out, like when he started being all weird was when like my opinion of him just like totally fell. Though it wasn't that good to begin with because other reasons, I'll talk about that later, but it just went down, okay. 갑자기 어떤 노래를 잘 부르시는 오페라 싱어를 불러서 엄청나게 막 노래를 잘 부르래요. 그건 인정해요. 아니 그분 완전 좋아요. 영화에서는 마지막에는 좀 이상한 행동을 했지만 그래도 처음에는 노래를 너무 잘 불렀기 때문에 멋있었어요. 좋았어요. 솔직히 노래 짱 잘 부르시는 것 같아요. 근데 알고 보니 그 배우님이 노래 부르시는 거 아니래요. 다른 분이 해주시고 그분이 립싱크 하신 거지만 그래도 연기를 진짜 잘하셨고 노래 부르신 분도 너무 잘해서 멋있다고 생각했어요. And so then he brings out this opera singer, which it's basically just a pop ballad, but I guess what can you do? We need hits, so we bring out this singer from Sweden who is a very good singer. I must admit, she's amazing. I know it's not her that actually, the actress is not the one that's singing, but anyway, they're both really good. Good acting, good singing. But anyway, so yeah, credit where credit's due. She's great, but like, he shuns the other people. He shuns the OG team. So that was when I was like, oh, this guy, he sucks. 그 다음에 그 원래 친구들을 막 버리고 막 갑자기 뭐라 부르지? 그 원래 친구들을 막 창피해하고 막 어이가 없어. 애초에 어쨌든 앤서분들 보시는 분들 다 똑같은 마음이었을 거예요. 앤서분들도 릴리더스 분들도 제가 무슨 얘기 하는지는 알 거예요. 막 왜 그런지 모르겠다 진짜. Anyway, that was an amazing scene. 아 그리고 막 노래 부르면서 막 그 손 잡았잖아요. 그때 진짜 대박 로맨틱했어. 하지만 갑자기 또 놔. Anyway, and then there was that scene, the handhold scene, and that was like really cool, very romantic. Love to see it. And then he like, that was sad. I mean, I get where he's coming from though. And later he character development, so we forgive him. But at that moment, Philip was also kind of like, ugh. But anyway, we're fine. We forgive him. 어쨌든 그 왜 손을 놓았는지는 너무나 이해가 가는 상황이에요. 하지만 그래도 그 순간에는 어쩔 수 없이 왜 그랬대? 라는 생각이 들었죠. 하지만 나중에 좋아지니까 괜찮아요. 오케이? 오케이. 아 근데 그건 좀 그랬어요. 약간 진짜 그 둘이 전혀 한 번도 대화하는 걸 솔직히 많이 본 적이 없거든요. 그냥 약간 가끔씩 시선만 나눴죠. 딱히 대화를 나눈 것도 없어서 그건 좀 아쉬웠어요. 약간 그분들의 관계를 제대로 그분들의 관계를 제대로 영화에서 보여주지도 못한 것 같아요. 그래서 딱히 마음이 엄청나게 잘 가진 않았어요. 그냥 그 상황이 로맨틱하지 딱히 그 캐릭터들의 케미스트리가 딱히 없었어요. 솔직히 말하면 나중에 노래 부를 땐 좀 안무가 하드캐리를 했죠. 하지만 솔직히 말해서 그분들이 너무 그냥 갑작스러워서 딱히 마음이 가진 않았어요. 솔직히 처음이라서 젠데야가 뿌리칠 줄 알았는데 같이 잡는 게 이상하긴 했어요. 맞아요. 그냥 저희가 모르게 약간 얘기를 했을 수도 있어요. 근데 어쨌든 저희에게는 안 보여줬으니까 없는 일로 된 거죠. 저희가 보는 입장으로서. 그래서 전 좀 이상했어요. 근데 솔직히 그래도 귀여워요. 그러니까 그냥 괜찮았어요. And then like they had zero relationship development at all. So that was a little bit like out of left field, you know? They're just suddenly holding hands. Like, I mean, good for them, but like they literally didn't. All they did was like exchange a couple of glances. And maybe they had talked like off screen and stuff, but like we weren't shown that, so it doesn't count, okay? What we were shown was like nothing, so it was a little out of left field. Like, good for them. Honestly, I still like it because it's like cute and stuff, but you know, I would like more relationship development. 그 다음에 레전드의 노래가 나오죠. This is me. This is me가 나오죠. 전 그 노래 진짜 좋아요. 제가 그 콜라보를 했었잖아요, 선배님 분들이랑. 그래서 그 노래가 너무 좋아요. 근데 한번 불러볼까요? 혼자서 한번 시도를 해볼까요? 너무 높지만 어떻게 해야 될지 모르겠네요. 정말 높아서 제대로 부를까? 모르겠어. 어쨌든 and then the legendary This Is Me song comes out, and I love that song so much. Like, the vocals in it are incredible. I love the lyrics. I love the way it comes out in the movie. It's perfect. Them, like, you know, saying goodbye to all the haters. It was great. So I'm thinking, why don't I sing it? Like, I did do a nice collab. That was a lot of fun. And I just want to, like, you know, jam out with it. I don't know if I'll do a proper cover, but I mean, we'll see, because it's very high. 그 사이에 블루투스가 꺼졌네. 오케이, 해볼까요? 뭐야, 안 나오네, 소리가. 오케이. 너무 어려워, 이 노래. 근데 할 수 있긴 한데 너무 목에 무리가 갈 수도 있으니까 조금 살살 해볼게요. I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh. Another round of bullets hits my skin. We'll fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's what we'll become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us. For we, yes. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flag, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, 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 oh. This is me. And I know that I deserve your love. There's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flag, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat. Marching on, marching, marching on. This is me. Oh, I'm gonna send a flood. Gonna drown them out. Oh, this is me. Anyway, 그랬다. 좀 부끄럽다. 너무 센 노래여서 약간 브이라이브, 그 라이브에서 하기에는 조금 약간 무대에서 해야 될 것 같은 노래긴 한데, 그래도 벌써 무대에서 했었으니까 해봤어요 다시. Anyway, 그랬고, 사실 그 뭐였더라 이름이? 그 뭐였더라? 이름이 뭐였더라? 그 Never Enough이라는 노래가 있잖아요. 그 노래도 사실 제가 연습생 때 연습을 하긴 했었어요. 근데 그 노래는 아직 공식적으로 못 보여드렸으니까 나중에 무대에서 아니면 좀 더 공식적인 자리에서 한번 제대로 보여드리고 싶어서 일단은 오늘은 안 불러드리고. There is this song called Never Enough, and like I actually practiced that song when I was a trainee because you know, it was hard and it was good, but I want to show, I do want to sing that for you, but I want to show it to you in like on a proper stage, you know, like a bigger stage, not just a live, since I want to show you like more in an official capacity, like a real cover. So unfortunately I'll show you that guys next time. 나중에 한번 보여드릴게요. 그거는 좀 더 공식적인 자리에서. Anyway, 어쨌든 그렇고 Anyway, This Is Me가 진짜 그냥 너무 좋은 노래인 것 같아요. 그것도 너무 좋아. 그 허음 나오는 부분들도 너무 좋아. 약간 음원 들으면 너무 감동. Like, I really like this song. When you hear it, I really like the arrangement of the song and like the harmonies. It's just a really good song. Anyway. And then, wait, am I getting this right? I believe that Philip, Zac Efron's character, he invites Zendaya Anne to watch a movie with him. Is that right? I think so. Anyway, so he invites them to like see a movie together, and then things happen, and then they run into their parents, and that was like super awkward, and his parents are racist and stuff, and so screw them. And then they like, I don't know, sing a song, right? That was cute. 어쨌든 막 뭐였더라, Zac Efron, 필립 님이 앤님을 막 함께 영화 보려고 하는데 갑자기 막 부모님이 나타나서 부모님이 되게 나쁜 사람들이에요. 그래서 막 뭐라 하고 막, 근데 필립님이 그 순간에 되게 멋있게 막 뭐라 하고 막 정말 멋있었어요. 그 다음에 같이 노래를 불렀잖아요. Rewrite the Stars. 네, 그런 노래를 불러요. And like, 저는 그 안무가 정말 좋았어요. 약간 젠데야 너무 멋있어. 위에서 막 엄청난 기술을 보여주면서 너무 멋있어요. I really liked the choreo of that. It was very good. Zendaya was like going crazy up there on the ropes. Like she was going crazy. I just loved that. 그럼 그것도 한번 불러볼까? Whoops. Wait, Rewrite the Stars. 근데 이건 사실 커버한 적이 없어서 잘 몰라서 어떻게 될지 모르겠지만 한번 해볼게요. It's not a secret I try to hide. I know you want me. So don't keep... 그냥 약간 노래를 듣는 겸 같이 부르는 겸 해볼게요. Fate is pulling you miles away and out of reach from me, but you're here in my heart, so who can stop it when I decide that you're mine? I don't really know this song completely well, so I'll try my best. But what if we rewrite the stars, so you were made to be mine? Nothing could keep us apart. You'll be the one I was meant to find. It's up to you, and it's up to me. No one could say what we get to be. So why don't we rewrite the stars? Maybe the world could be ours. 노래 진짜 좋은 것 같아요. You think it's easy. You think I don't wanna run to you. But there are mountains, and there are walls that we can't walk through. I know you're wondering why, because we're able to be just you and me within these walls. 가사 너무 슬퍼. No one can rewrite the stars. How can you say you're mine? Everything keeps us apart. I'm not the one you were meant to find. It's up to you, it's not up to me. When everyone tells us what we can be, how can we rewrite the stars? See that the world can be mine. Whoops. Tonight, all I want is to fly with you. All I want is to fall with you. So just give me all of you. It feels impossible. Is it impossible? Say that it's possible. How do we rewrite the stars? Say you were made to be mine. Nothing can 제대로 탈게요. You know I want you. It's not a secret I tried to hide. But I can't have you. 아, 이 파트 너무 슬펐어. We're bound to break and our hands are tied. Sorry guys, I don't know that well. I tried my best, but 어쨌든 that last part was so sad where she walks away. It was kind of awkward, but it was very sad. Anyway. Is it impossible? It feels impossible. Anyway. 그땐 정말 슬펐고. 오케이. 그 다음에 반엄이 가족을 두고 투어를 가게 돼요. So then Barnum, no, is it Barnum or Burnham? P.T. Barnum. Barnum's right. Barnum decides to go on tour with Jenny. Jenny, the opera singer, and then for some reason they have like this little spark and connection. Oh man. Get your head in the game, Mr. Barnum. You have a beautiful wife and kids at home. 반엄님, 정말 정신을 차리세요. 집에 아내와 아기들이 있어요, 정말. 진짜. 저는 솔직히 그래도 되게 갑작스러웠어요. 그 반엄님이 그 제니님의 고백이라고 할까? 고백을 이걸 하긴 했잖아요. X 찾잖아요. 근데 찬 거에 대해서 그렇게 왜 이렇게 반응이 반응을 왜 이렇게 많이 하는지 잘 모르겠어요. 제니가. 약간 이해는 가요. 당연히 슬프죠. 차이면. 하지만 너무 너무 막 리액션 한 것 같아서 좀 놀랐어요. 약간 뭔가 저희가 모르는 그런 스토리가 있나? 왜냐면 반엄님이 전혀 그런 신호를 안 줬으면 제니가 반엄이 가족이 있는 걸 알면서 물어본 거잖아요? 그러니까 당연히 그걸 기대하면 안 되는 거 아니에요? 그걸 왜 기대하고 있는지, 왜 반엄이 그 전에 뭔가 신호를 줬거나 잘못을 했거나 그러지 않은 이상 그걸 기대하는 게 이상하다고 생각해요. 그래서 되게 뭔가 갑작스러웠어요. 갑자기 그렇게 크게 반응해서 막 화내고 막 난 이제 그만둘 거라고 막 좀 놀랐어요. 그리고 갑자기 노래 부르면서 엄청나게 많이 울고. 반엄님이 약간 뭔가 우리는 사이가 있을 수도 있다 하고 약간 조금 신호를 주지 않은 이상 조금 갑작스러웠어요. 그래서 약간 의심이 돼요. 반엄이 무슨 신호를 줬나? 솔직히 기대하면 안 되는 거 아니에요? 어쨌든 그랬어요. So I was very confused as to why Jenny was taking it so hard after Barnum refused her advances. Cause like, unless Barnum was giving her mixed signals, or unless Barnum was kind of leading her on, like why? Unless Barnum was leading her on, why would she even expect him to say yes? She knows that he has a family. Why would she expect him to say yes? Why would she get so offended that she would say no? She should have like expected that. He's literally married, exactly. Why is she getting so offended? Like, and she creates like this whole drama. She decides she wants to quit, and then you know she starts crying while singing. Like, what did she expect? Him to say yes? Like, what's up with that? Like, that was a little homewrecker. Okay, well now let's not get too bold. Sure, I mean it's kind of true in this regard, but I try to always be respectful. Okay. 진짜 갑작스러웠어. It was like very sudden, and unless like seriously, unless Barnum like gave her some mixed signals, like, you know, was hinting at something, like then I would understand like why she would expect him to say yes. But in the movie they didn't show any of that, so it's very confusing, you know? It was, in my mind, I'm trying to paint it in my mind that Jenny was unrequitedly in love with PC Barnum, and then when she got rejected, she went all crazy. I'm pretty sure that's what the movie is trying to tell me, but I don't see how this completely mature and amazingly good at singing woman would be so up in arms about it, you know? Like, 영화에서 진짜 약간 이해가 안 됐어요, 조금. 근데 뭐 영화니까 조금 드라마틱하게 가려고 했나 봐요. 그래서 어쨌든 노래를 부르면서 막 펑펑 울어요. 너무 연기를 너무 잘하세요. 진짜 연기 너무 잘해요. 근데 막 갑자기 막 뽀뽀를 해요. 진짜 물어보지도 않고. 진짜 너무한 거 아니야? 진짜 너무해. 와, 진짜 최악이야. 어떻게 허락 없는 뽀뽀? 그게 말이 돼? 그리고 심지어 예전에 차이였는데 진짜 말이 안 돼. 그래서 어쨌든 뭐 그것도 그렇고 진짜 너무한 거 아니야? 그리고 아니 진짜 그 정도로 상처를 받을 일인가 싶었죠. 그 정도로 내가 그 정도로 복수를 하고 싶었나? 라고 생각이 들었죠. 그리고 심지어 사람들 다 보고 있고 막 사진도 찍히고 있는데? Not good. And then she gives him a consentless kiss. First of all, no consent. In fact, he actually said he didn't want it, which is even worse. So that was bad. But then also, like, in front of everyone, his family, his wife is watching. What is wrong with her? 정말. Like, that was just a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. 진짜. 아니, was it really that serious? Like, did you have to sabotage his whole family for that? I don't know. Ugh, the kiss made my skin crawl. Yeah, it did. It was so random too. 난 모르겠다. 전 잘 모르겠어요. 약간 진짜 그 정도로 시리어스한 일인가 싶었죠. 그 정도로 그 사람의 인생을 완전 망치는 건데. 몰라요. 어쩔 수 없죠. 어쨌든 영화니까 과장된 거니까. 네, 그래서 많이 놀랐어요. And then 그래서 반엄님이 다시 집으로 돌아가는데 갑자기 불이 났어요. 그 씬 너무 슬펐어요. 저는 불나는 씬이나 뭐 그런 거 정말 되게 슬펐어요. 되게 슬펐어요. And then he went home and then there was a fire. And that was so sad. I just, natural disaster scenes always get me for some reason. I'm just like very sensitive to natural disaster scenes. So that was like really sad for me. Watching all that hard work get destroyed. 너무 슬펐어. 약간 너무 슬펐고 그 다음에 그 N님이 안에 있는 줄 알고 막 필립님 막 따라 들어와서 근데 알고 보니 N은 괜찮고 필립은 안 괜찮고 막 너무나 슬펐어. 정말 난리가 났었죠. 난리. And then Philip went to like go after Anne because he thought Anne was in there, but then Anne wasn't in there, and then Philip almost died, and that was really sad too. Anyway, 그 부분들 슬펐고. And then 뭐 진짜 그냥 난리가 난 거죠. 이제 또 집에 가니까 그 키스 사진이 막 뉴스에 돼 있고 그러니까 당연히 아내가 화나죠. 그러니까 화난 아내가 막 떠나고 완전 난리가 났었죠. 난리가. 근데 어쨌든 다시 화해를 하게 되죠. 근데 저는 그게 좀 그래도 그것도 의문이었어요. 여자 그 아내님이 왜 봐준 거야? 그 상황을 설명을 하면 몰라. 근데 설명 없이도 설명하는 씬이 안 나와요, 영화에. 설명을 하는 씬이 나와야 됐었어. 설명하는 씬이 나와야 됐었어. 그렇지 않아요? I think 그냥 설명도 안 하고 그냥 바로 그냥 화해를 하는 게 그게 좀 되게 약간 의문이었어요. Anyway, that and then like obviously he goes home and then his wife is obviously very angry. Who wouldn't be? Like who wouldn't be? And his wife is angry and like she leaves. But then she like forgives him, which I get. It's not like he really did anything wrong. Well, it's kind of questionable because maybe he let her on, but in this movie we didn't see that, so I'm just gonna choose to guess that he didn't. Choose to accept that he didn't. And then she just forgives him, which, yeah, I get. If he explained his side, to the story, sure, forgive him all you want. But we didn't get that scene. Why not? Where? Why not? Why didn't we get the scene where he explained himself? Or at least, like, a hint to it so that we could know. No hints, and she just immediately forgives him. Like, what? Where? Right? We didn't see that. 사람들 다 찬성하고 있어요, 지금. It feels abrupt for me. Right? Yeah, I know. Exactly. 그 씬이 꼭 필요했었어. We needed that scene, and we didn't have it. We didn't have that. I feel like there was a lot of scenes missing in the film. Yeah, exactly. There was. 어떤 분이 이 영화에 되게 씬들이 좀 부족한 것 같다고 말을 했더라고요. 그래서 저도 완전 찬성. 근데 결국에는 그래도 해피엔딩이었기 때문에 저는 그래도 좋았어요. 결국엔 해피엔딩 너무 좋죠. And in the end it was a happy ending, so I'm still very happy about that. Anyway, I mean, I do like a good, family is, he ended up giving up his position. Barnum ended up giving up his position to Philip, which to each his own, good for him. It's a little cliche. They always end up choosing their family, like what about a cool Korea situation, but anyway, it's okay. I get it because family is important too. 그다음에 결국에는 반엄님이 가족을 선택했죠. 다시 가족으로 가기로 했죠. 그 리더 포지션을 필립한테 주고. 근데 그것도 되게 클리셰였어요, 솔직히. 맨날 그렇게 끝나, 영화들이. 1을 선택하는 사람이 별로 없어요. 근데 뭐 인생도 그럴 수도 있으니까. 그래서 막 그런 것도 좀 그랬지만 뭐 나쁘지 않았어요. 왜냐면 저도 가족이 중요하다고 생각하거든요. 다 중요하죠. 사람마다 다 다르기 때문에. 잠시만요. 씻는 순을 확인해봐야 될 것 같은. 아하. 오케이. 아직 내 차례가 아니다. Anyway, in the end it was a very good movie and I liked it. 결국에는 영화가 정말 재밌었어요. 이런 조금만 의심이 가거나 약간 조금 왜 그랬지 부분들이 있었지만 결국에는 영화가 너무 좋았고 노래도 대부분 다 너무 좋아서 4점을 줬어요. So in the end I think the movie was very good, even though there were like a lot of parts where I'm like, well, what's this? In the end it was very entertaining and I loved the music. Most of the songs were good, so I gave it a 4. Oh yeah, the quote from Real Barnum at the end too, it made me so mad. Yes, that's what I wanted to talk about. Why did they include that quote? Like, I get they're trying to just totally rewrite history with this movie, But did they really have to add the quote? Like, come on, he was a bad person. Why would they do that? Let's talk about that now. So there are some controversies about this movie, and a big one is the fact that they painted P.T. Barnum into such a hero, when in real life he was kind of horrible. I've read some articles on it, and he was kind of horrible. So that's a thing. 또 어떻게 또 중요한 게, 이 영화에 대한 중요한 게 있는데, 사실 그런 논란이 있었어요. 이게 P.T. 바넘이 진짜 사람이었어요. 근데 P.T. 바넘을 너무 히어로처럼 만들었다고 영화 사람들이 막 그런 논란이 있었어요. 왜냐면 P.T. 바넘, 진짜 P.T. 바넘이 솔직히 딱히 좋은 사람이 아니었어요. 뉴스를 많이 봤었는데 되게 약간 아티클 같은 거 많이 읽었는데 엄청 원래는 진짜 별로 안 좋은 사람이었나 봐요. 그래서 그런 논란이 좀 있었어요. 그래서 마지막에 왜 P.T. 바넘의 실제 quote? Let's see. 인용. P.T. 바넘이 직접 인용한 거를 맨 마지막에 왜 그걸 넣은지 솔직히 잘 이해가 안 돼요. 그 사람들도 알았을 텐데 진짜 어떤 사람이었는지. 솔직히 저는 작품들이랑 예술은 예술 작품이니까 예술 작품이니까 어느 정도는 현실에서 조금 벗어난 이야기를 할 수 있다고 생각하는데 그걸 굳이 왜 마지막에 그렇게 하는지 잘 모르겠어요. 그건. I think that it's art, and everyone will have different opinions on that, and I'm gonna respect everyone's opinion on this, but I think that because it's art, I think sometimes glamification of some things, in this case, since the victims would have died, I think sometimes we can forgive things in art. But do they have to rub it in with the quote in the end? Like, do they have to? 미화 됐다고 하시는 것 같아요. 네, 미화가 조금 된 것 같아요. 확실히 이 영화. 근데 저는 지금 그분이 살아있는 게 아니고 그분 때문에 피해받는 분들도 이제 살아있는 게 아니기 때문에 어느 정도는 이해할 수 있다고 생각하는데 그냥 굳이 그걸로 왜 끝나는지 약간 이해가 안 됐었어요. I really think that it was a mistake from the producer's part to totally gloss over the exploitation of vulnerable people. I get it's a film, but it feels disrespectful to the real victims. Yeah, I agree with that. They kind of wanted to paint it into some fairy tale, you know? Which is all well and good. Because I do love a good, happy ending, and I love hope in this world. But unfortunately, in this world, P.T. Barnum was not a very good person. I just wanted to address that because I think that it's important to know when you're watching something like this. You can suspend your disbelief while watching the movie and you can like get invested in these fake characters, but it's important to really separate them from the real characters in your mind. Since this actually was a real person, we can think of this P.T. Barnum as a character of this movie, and that's all. But we can't, you know, get them mixed up. Because the real P.T. Barnum was not like that. That's what I agree. That's what I think. 저는 약간 둘이 separate. separate이 뭐더라 한국어로? 죄송해요. 제가 더 잘할게요. 죄송해요. 별개. 네. 별개로 생각하는 게 중요할 것 같아요. 이 영화에서 나오는 P.T. 바넘은 그냥 그 P.T. 바넘의 캐릭터고 진짜 P.T. 바넘은 그게 아니다 라고 별개로 생각하면 좋을 것 같아요. 그런 생각이었어요. 분리된, 나누다, 맞아요. 네, 그런 거예요. 그래서 네, 근데 그게 좀 어려운 것 같아요. 그리고 사람들이 여러 가지의 의견이 있는 것 같아요. 그거에 대해서. 그래서 저는 모두 의견이 중요하다고 생각해요. 모든 사람들의 의견이 중요하고 그리고 모두 다 다를 수 있다고 생각해요. I think everyone has different opinions on this and it's not just with movies. We can separate, it's very hard to separate art with people. I think it's different for everyone how they want to do that in their lives. And I will respect that most of the times. I can respect that. So 어쨌든 좋아. 네. 그래서 네, 그런 점들이 조금 저에게는 네, 의심이었고 그냥 그런 것도 있었어요. 그런 면이 되게 좋은 것 같아요. 이 사람들이 차별받았던 점들로 그걸 자기의 이득으로 만들 수 있는 이 영화에선 그렇게 나온 게 정말 희망적이고 좋았던 것 같아요. What I liked about this movie was that they made these people that were getting discriminated against because of their differences, right? And I liked that in this movie they used those differences for their own gain in the end. I think that's one of the best parts about this movie. So I like that they spun that into a kind of like positive thing. It's very like 희망적인 것 같아요. 남들이 욕하는 걸로 욕한 인간들을 돈 뺏기. 맞아요, 그런 느낌이었어요. 저 그런 게 네, 그런 느낌 좋은 것 같아요. 하여튼 그런 게 좋았어요. 진짜 너무 좋았어요. 오늘 함께 얘기를 할 수 있었던 게 너무 좋았어요, 진짜. 댓글도 막 많이 남겨주고 너무너무 좋았어요. 진짜. Thank you so much for talking to me about this and leaving your opinions. It means a lot. Thank you. 그리고 이 노래 OST도 진짜 좋으니까 자주 들었었어요. 처음에 들었었을 때. 그리고 하나를 추천해드리고 싶은데 옆에서 뭐 하는 거지? 몰라. 어쨌든 Panic at the Disco 선배님이 하신 커버가 있어요. The Greatest Show 커버. 그것도 추천해드리고 싶어요. I want to recommend The Greatest Show Panic at the Disco version because I love Panic at the Disco and he made it into a Panic at the Disco song basically. So we love it. It's basically just exactly like a Panic at the Disco song. 어쨌든 너무 재밌었어요. 노래도 같이 부르고 너무 좋았어. 이제 댓글 몇 개 더 읽어보고 가보겠습니다. I'm gonna read a couple more comments and then I might go. 제일 좋아하는 장면이 뭐야? 인트로 장면이랑 맨 마지막에 The Greatest Show 노래가 나올 때 거기가 제일 웅장했잖아요. 거기 부분들이 제일 좋았어요. Someone asked what was my favorite scene, and I would say the intro and the last part when The Greatest Show came on. That was my favorite scene. Like, there was just, I loved the production and everything. It felt like a real musical, you know. 여러분들은 어떤 장면이 제일 좋았어요? What was your guys' favorite part? 인트로가 인상 깊긴 하더라 라고 하셨어요. This is me 완전 감동적이었어. 릴리 나오는 장면이요? 저 안 나오는데. 릴리가 나오면 다 좋다? 저 안 나오는데요? 오페라에서 노래 불렀을 때 소름. 저도 소름 돋았어요, 진짜. Zendaya and Zach duet? Yeah, I agree. When they sang This Is Me? Yeah. It's true. Best scene was the credits. I agree. 아무래도 This Is Me 부르는 장면. Intro랑 The Love Story. Okay. This Is Me. Rewrite the Stars, Never Enough. Okay. My favorite song is, it goes to say, The Greatest Show. But I think that they're all great songs. The Wives song. There's a Wives song? Oh, you mean the yeah. Okay. I respect your opinion. My favorite character in the movie. It's not P.T. Barnum, that's for sure. I mean, sure, he did redeem himself at the end, but still, kind of gives me the ick a little bit. Maybe Philip or Anne, probably, I would say. I would say my favorite character was Philip or Anne. 어떤 분이 제가 제일 좋아하는 캐릭터가 뭐냐고 여쭤봤는데 저는 앤이나 필립. 일단 앤은 조금 편견이 있어요. 제가 너무 젠데이아를 좋아하기 때문에. 하지만 네. Charity Barnum really is a great wife and mother. I agree. 다들은 어떤 캐릭터가 제일 좋았어요? 어떤 분이 또 그 Charity라고 얘기하시네요. Favorite characters. Anne. 그렇군. Okay. Anyway. You like the part where Zach and Hugh sang together? Yeah, that was good. And also, by the way, I do like Hugh Jackman. He's like representing Australians. Good for him. Zach. Sorry, my bad. Jackman. 휴 자크맨님이 정말 멋있는 것 같아요. 연기도 잘하고 노래도 잘하고 호주에서 왔기 때문에 그런 편견도 있고 좋은 것 같아요. Charity, she is the only main character who doesn't have any complex. But complexity makes a human human, you know. Complexity makes people fun. But I get what you're saying though. He's a Wolverine again. Yeah, I actually heard about that. And I heard that he was sick too. I hope he's better. 영화나 책 거의 안 보고 살았는데 릴리 좋아하고 나서부터 릴리딩 덕분에 영화나 책 다 챙겨보고 있어요. 릴리 덕분이에요. 감사합니다. 저도 사랑해요. 제가 책임질게요. 앞으로 anyway, 어쨌든 오늘 너무너무 고마웠고 사랑해요. 전 이제 이만 가보겠습니다. Bye guys. 다음에 봐요. 바이바이롱. 너무 즐거웠어요 진짜. 다음 책도 잘 고민해볼게요. 뭘로 볼지. 뭐 영화가 바쁘면 영화가 될 수도 있지만 일단은 책으로 생각하고 있어요. 사랑스러운 릴리야 잘가 고마워. 맨날 인사 너무 잘해주셔서 감사합니다. I'm thinking of doing a book the next time, but if I get too busy it might change to a movie. But for now a book. I'll see you next time. 안녕 lovely Lily. Thank you. That was fun. Bye. 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 Bye Lily. Take care. Thank you. Bye.